Hello, quilters. Let me get the chat turned on and leave me a comment so I know that the comments are working. They don't always work. I don't have much to talk about this week because I haven't done much since I saw you last week. I had a lot going on, but we are in the midst of um, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes because it can be a beautiful summer day, late summer day, 1 minute, and the next minute we can have torrential downpour. There's a lot of flooding going around near me, but it's not where I am exactly. So it's just been very unpredictable, stormy, strong weather. Uh, Hello in South Carolina, Janet. Thanks for letting me know the comments are working. So I just have a few things to talk about today, getting ready for next week's ABC 123 video, and I want to tell you how to get access to the free pattern. So let me pull up a picture of that. Hello in Kissimmee. Did we have another? I think we have another hurricane coming, but I don't know. I haven't been following the weather. Yeah, Elizabeth, I was checking your news today. Let's see. So Elizabeth's in Pennsylvania, and I was just checking. I got an update. Sorry, my hair's sticking up, and I can see that. I got an update on my phone, and I was hoping it was that they had captured the escaped prisoner, but I understand there's schools closed because he's now armed. Just stay safe there. Stay inside and quilt, and keep a rotary cutter nearby. Kind of scary times to have an escaped murderer on the loose in a big manhunt. Cloudy and windy PEI. I hope to see PEI someday. We'll be cloudy and windy in a minute, and everything got delayed. I had a lot going on, and I had my time window where I was going to be working on the computer work and getting everything sent out, and we had a massive power outage. We had there was a lot of rain. We didn't get much rain, but all the power went out. So I didn't have power for a while and couldn't do my computer work. So that's why you haven't gotten your newsletter last week yet. And I'm just getting back to my computer now. So we're pretty fortunate that we have a generator, and it's not a whole house generator, but I can flip different circuits on for it. So like I can't use my dryer. I don't have hot water. I can't use my stove, microwave, stuff like that. But we have our teapot, and that's all that matters. We can still have tea. So it was, yeah, it was fun, and we're completely comfortable, and we're completely fine. And it was just a branch down that took out the power where I live, and we are at the end of the power grid, so we don't get it back first. I just packed up my computer and tried to do the very basics, with some free Wi-Fi from when I was out doing what I had to do. So let's see, there are three hurricanes out there. 2 are passing by. 1 will be for sure in a couple of weeks. And I think they're talking about one that's going to be causing some turmoil up here, heavy storms up here in the Northeast. But yeah, it's hurricane season. My very first cruise I went on was during Hurricane Danny that hit in Canada, because I was on a Canadian cruise. And that's how I discovered I don't get very seasick, because they canceled the dance show. They rerouted our cruise. They had extra handrails up and in the hallways for people to hold on to. And hardly anybody was in the dining room. So that was my first hurricane at sea in Canada. And we've had several hit up here. Let's see, Hurricane Abe, and you're watching it closely. Crazy stuff. Yeah, it's best to stay indoors and quilt. And the few times I was home, let's see. Hello in Nova Scotia, waiting for Hurricane Lee this weekend. Okay. That's probably our second Hurricane Lee, because I think I got hit by a Hurricane Lee several years ago. But yeah, we're actually supposed to get violent storms tomorrow with another hurricane that's brushing us or something. I don't know. Like, I haven't been watching. But the times I have been home, I could sew on the generator, but I didn't. I wasn't home that much. But I did some sanity sewing, and I made some color blocks. But I have this box of 1.5-inch squares that are left from when I cut my color um, when I cut my color blocks. Oh, Sandal, you said Hurricane Lee. Yes. So I have a few 1.5 inch squares, and I dug in. I took 2,460 1.5 inch squares out of that box, and I made this. And you can't tell that there are 2,460 squares that aren't in that box. So I could make like 10 more of these, and every one of these was sewn together individually. I'm thinking I need to make some sort of a quilt meme that never invoke the ire of a quilter. They've proved they have endless patience for revenge or something like that. So endless creativity and patience for an effective revenge. I want to do something like that because this quilt altogether has 2,876 pieces of fabric in it, and I sewed each one individually. This I'm going to write a pattern, and it's going to be in when I quilt it. I'll put the pattern and the quilt in my my subscription, the As the Bobbin Turns subscription. And you'll never guess how I'm going to quilt it. There's a delay on the comments, so I won't say it. But type it in if you think you know how I'm going to quilt this quilt. This quilt's kind of heavy, too, with all the seam allowances. I'm going to hopefully base that up because I have a lot to do, and then I can like quilt a block and do something and quilt a block and do something. Let's see the guesses. We have a guess of ribbon. We have a guess of ribbon candy. Another guess of ribbon candy. Oh my word. Every one of you is right. Everyone. Ribbon candy for sure. Janet, I saw your picture of your dog yesterday. I'm so sorry. On the quilt on your bed. And I think that's what, I think you did a similar quilt to this on your bed. So yes, it will be quilted with ribbon candy, and I have so much to do, and there's a lot going on physically in my environment this month, and there's a lot going on mentally in my head this month. So I need to do a little quilting and I need to do task switching because I have tons and tons of things to do. Krista, and continuous curve. You're also right. Continuous curve in the center square. Good job. You guys know me so well. So yeah, I can't wait to quilt that quilt. It's 70 by 70. I have 2 more. That was, I think I had 10 blocks done and just pulled it out of my UFO pile. I have 2 more quilts based on 1.5 inch squares that I think I'm going to pull out and finish first before I let myself make more of these. Oh, your cat. I'm sorry. Yes, I just remembered going, oh, honey. And the quilt is similar with sashing. Yeah, I noticed you had a wider sashing. And again, I'm so sorry. It's so hard when we lose our babies like that. We still talk about our boys, and we lost one boy 6.5 years ago, and the other boy we lost 12 years ago. And there's still kind of daily conversation. And we lost a girl long time ago, like 20 some years ago. She was mean. So I don't have a name for that quilt yet, but it might be named like patience, persistence, something like that. Dogged determination. Just because it's little 1.5 inch seams. Used a lot of thread, had a lot of fun. So next week I'm going to start. I'm going to be gone, and I will start with the ABC 1, 2, 3. And the quilt for that, let me pull that up for you. Give me a second. Working. And let me share that with you here. So this is the ABC 1, 2, 3 quilt. The pattern is, I think it's like 50.5 by 72. Someone had asked me. 28. Yeah, I think it's 50.5 by 72. It takes 2 charm packs, and you can download the free pattern, and I'll show you how. So what I'm going to do and why it's ABC 123 is I have a series of ABC stencils, and I'm going to show you how to put them in these long areas here. And then I'm going to show you how to do some background quilting around that and this extra wide panel. And then I'm going to show you some ruler quilting to do in the squares. So you're going to pick, and at the end, you'll have several choices of stencil, several choices of background, several choices of ruler, and just pick one from each column, ABC 123. So that's what that's what the plan is. And that's going to be my Wednesday night video because I know I'm going to be gone, so I wanted to get ahead. Let me pull up how to do that. So I just added this online. Let me come back to you here. I just added it online. It's going to end up on the main page of my website. It's not, I haven't put the direct link there yet, but let me show you. So this is my website, and there will be that ABC 123 link up here. But before that, you can go to the search bar at the top on your computer and just type in ABC. You'll see anything with ABC comes in, which is the stencils, and the ABC quilt pattern is free. So you can go here, add to cart, and check out, and it let me know how the download works because I just set that up today. I do not do downloadable patterns typically because there is taxation throughout the EU. It's the EU VAT tax, whatever, EU VAT. And I don't want to deal with that. So that's why I don't sell my patterns downloadable, just because it's a weird tax situation and I'm just me and I don't want to work that hard on math. So I can put out free patterns downloadable, but I don't sell them. That's why everything goes in a class, because the classes handle the EU VAT for me. So anyway, it's free. Go in there and be sure to sign up for my newsletter while you're there. Allow emails because I don't send that many, but you can disallow emails, which won't get you my newsletter to tell you other free stuff, or you can allow emails, which will let you get that. So I will have a bar up on the main page showing, that I have, I'll have the stencils up there. I'll have all the charm squares up there, and that's today's job, and the pattern up there. But if you just type ABC, it'll show up. So you can download that free pattern and get stitching. And I plan on having 4 of them. There may be more, but watch along and have some fun. So Janet, your friend called you insane for having that bedspread with the 1.5-inch squares? Yeah. Mhm. My medication is a 1.5-inch square right now. So, it's working for me. I love tiny little pieces like that, just 1.5-inch squares. And I don't know how I got so many. People, that was not strip pieced at all. It was 2,876 pieces. Not that I counted. It was pretty easy math, but I will write a pattern. I don't expect any of you to make it, but the pattern will be in my As the Bobbin Turns in the future. So yeah, that's what I have going on. I have the ABC 123 coming up. I have, and what's current on the website for color blocks is Wee Wee Wee, the piggy pattern. I haven't added the quilting to it yet. And then I have another, where was it? I'm pulling up one more picture. Nope, not that one. Give me 1 second. I'll pull up the right picture. Doop, 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 doop. There it is. Okay, let me share this with you. This is current in As the Bobbin Turns. And it is lesson 2 of stitching a spiral, and it's using decorative stitches. And I give you a couple hints about, going between the 2 of them and how to make it work, etc. And while I'm here, I just got the very nice thank you note for this dorm quilt I made for my husband's cousin's son going to university, and these are his school colors. This quilt is super duper tall because he's an athlete going to play sports, and they have the extra long twin beds, and that's why this is a dorm quilt. But these are his school colors, and it was a very formal. I think my mom helped write the template for thank you for the this and the this and the this. It was just very sweet. I got the thank you note in the mail a couple days ago. Made me think of it. But that is also in As the Bobbin Turns, I believe. No, this one is in color blocks. So the pattern for this dorm quilt and the machine quilting of how to do the machine quilting instructions are in there as well. So that's really all I have for you. I will not be here next Tuesday. I will not be here next Wednesday, and it may be ongoing, but I don't know. But I will be here tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I will talk. We will go over a little more with the ABC 1, 2, 3. Bring your machine quilting questions, and where's my? I have a list of things to talk about. Last week, I talked about machine maintenance, and I pulled up my instruction manual for my machine, and I found one place that I had never cleaned before. It was pretty exciting. I went and cleaned it. It wasn't that dirty because I've recently had the machine serviced, but I learned something new. So let's see. I have a spreadsheet of what to talk about on different nights. So I think this is going to be my machine setup and how I do my machine quilting on a home machine. Like I might take an aerial picture and show what I have and how that all works for me. I'll just get here on it. I'll get my husband to get on a chair and take an aerial picture for me because I don't think the ceiling's high enough to use a drone. And my husband would prefer I don't stand on a ladder because he doesn't want to pick up the broken me from the floor. So I'm going to go on with my day, do some quilting, and the website will be improving, and the newsletter will be forthcoming. So thanks for your attention. Stay safe in the storms, and from the escaped prisoners. The world is a crazy place, and that is why we quilt. Enjoy your quilting. Do some sanity sewing if you need to. Just make a bunch of color blocks, cut up a bunch of fabric, or dig into your 1.5-inch squares. Happy quilting, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock in Debbie Brown's Machine Quilting Studio, Wednesday night, 7 o'clock in New York time. Happy quilting.